everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Timmy Trickle, also known as Horror Fan for Life, and today I'm giving you my ranking of all 10 Star Wars movies. Yes, I'm not including any animated Star Wars movies or none of that. I'm doing just the 8 in the trilogies and the 2 standalone movies that we have so far. Today I just watched Solo: A Star Wars Story, so I'm really looking forward to doing this list. It took me about 15-20 minutes. It was really hard for me to do this list because I love all these movies, and I know the one movie gets a lot of hate, which will most likely be people's number 10, but I still enjoyed it. I'll go over that here in a minute. But without further ado, here's my ranking of all 10 Star Wars movies. Coming number 10 is no surprise. It's Phantom Menace. This movie gets a lot of hate, but I rather enjoyed this movie. I have to agree, the young kid who played Anakin wasn't all that good, and I really wish they would have got someone a little older to play him. Perhaps, a 12, 13-year-old, someone just a little bit older. He's not a terrible actor, but he just didn't fit or look like an Anakin Skywalker to me. But I love the villains. I love the Jedi. I love the story. And I know Jar Jar Binks gets a lot of crap and everything, but he is the comedy relief of this movie. And although he can be a tad annoying, I still enjoyed this movie, but it does come in at number 10. At number 9 is Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. Like I said, I really enjoyed this movie. The Darth Vader was pretty badass in it. The CGI, Carrie Fisher was okay. But this movie, it was really good. I did really enjoy it. I believe I gave it a 9 out of 10. All these Star Wars movies got at least an 8, I believe. But Rogue One, I think we could have gone without. But as far as another movie I'll be talking about, I think it was more needed than this one. But I still enjoyed this, and this did make a lot of money. But yeah, number 9 is Rogue One. Coming number 8 is Star Wars: Attack of the Clones. I really love this movie. The best part in this movie is when all the Jedi are fighting, and it's just an amazing sight to see all those lightsabers just going to work. And although we lose a lot during that fight, it was still fun to watch, and I enjoyed it. We've seen the progression with Anakin, and of course, Obi-Wan is training him. But then you get to start to see some of his dark side with his anger and everything. Then, of course, he falls in love with Padme. Natalie Portman is freaking gorgeous. Just smoking hot. But I love this movie. I love what they did. I love what they did with the characters and getting them set up to the third movie in the franchise. Now, where will that third prequel fall? You'll have to find out. But Attack of the Clones is number 8. Number 7 is the movie I just watched this morning, Solo: A Star Wars Story. I love this movie. I gave it a 10 out of 10. You can look at my review on my channel. But I love this movie. And despite its box office flop, which was their own stupidity for putting the movie out in May instead of in the fall, like they've done with all the other movies. It just didn't make no sense. That's one thing that irritated me. And ultimately, that's what hurt it at the box office as well. Because we just had Last Jedi in December, 5 months earlier. But Solo: A Star Wars Story, it's a great movie. I love the backstory. I love how Han gets his last name. I loved a lot of things about that movie. And yeah, number 7 for me, and it is definitely better than Rogue One. Number 6 is Return of the Jedi. I love the original trilogy. I grew up on it. Although it's not my favorite in the original trilogy, it's still a great movie. It still holds up. I love it. You know, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill. It's just a phenomenal movie. And we finally get to see Luke take out his father. And Leia learns that, um, Luke is his brother, or her brother. And of course, some Star Wars fans bitch about what they did for the ending when they show the 3 ghosts, and you have Obi-Wan, uh, Yoda, and instead of the gentleman who played Darth Vader in the suits in these movies, the original trilogy, they have Anakin. But I like what they did there because Anakin is Darth Vader. It's the same freaking thing. People just have a hate for Hayden Christensen for some reason. I don't get it. But yeah, Return of the Jedi is number 6. Number 5 is the last of the prequel movies, and that is Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith is freaking awesome. Halfway into the movie, Anakin is still good, but then he starts to turn. When he turns, it gets dark and he gets mean, and his anger and his facial features, everything is phenomenal. And I love the fight scene between him and Obi-Wan. And it's sad we learn the fate of Padme, of course, but she has the 2 kids who become Luke and Leia, which is great. Uh, and we see what happens when they're split up. But I love Revenge of the Sith. Of course, we were real close to, uh, killing the Sith Lord, but Anakin turns on all the other Jedi, kills all the Jedi, and then the Stormtroopers turn and kill the Jedi wherever they're spread out over the world and all the universe. And yeah, but Revenge of the Sith, number 5, awesome movie. Number 4 is Star Wars: The Last Jedi, which came out last year. It's a great movie. This movie gets hate, of course. I don't know why. But Mark Hamill's phenomenal. I love this movie from start to finish. I love, especially the third act, when Mark or Luke is fighting, and it's not even him. It's a hologram of him, and it is phenomenal. I did not see that coming, and I love how the movie ends when it sets up the next movie and final movie for this trilogy. And I'm so excited. I cannot wait till next year. Although I won't be able to see it in theaters unless a miracle happens and I get a vehicle by then. But yeah, it probably won't be till early 2020 for me to watch it. But The Last Jedi is a great movie, and comes in at number 4 for me. Number 3 is Star Wars: The Force Awakens. I love this movie. Kylo Ren, Rey, Finn, just great movie. Of course, we get to see our regulars with R2-D2 and C-3PO. I have the Force Awakens poster behind me on the wall. You can see it right there. Yeah, amazing poster. But I love The Force Awakens. It is now on TV with the other movies. Anytime it's on, I'm watching it. Of course, we find out what happens with Han, which is sad. But it's a great movie. A great start to the trilogy, to a new trilogy anyway. And like I said, I'm looking forward to the third and final film in that trilogy. The Force Awakens, number 3. Number 2 would probably be a lot of people's number one, but for me, number two is The Empire Strikes Back. This movie is dark and just great, great movie. We find out a lot more about Luke and his character, and he begins his training with Yoda. Um, and unfortunately, Han gets captured and is frozen in carbonite. We meet Lando Calrissian for the first time, and how he sold him out, but he had no choice. Uh, but this is a great movie. Like I said, most people consider it to be the best movie in the franchise. I don't agree, but I love this movie. I love all the movies in the Star Wars franchise, but this is number two. It was close to being number one, but number one is Star Wars: A New Hope. I've seen this movie the most out of all the Star Wars movies. I watch this one constantly, all the time, and I love everything about it. It's the backstory that we got with Luke, and then of course Leia. But at the time, we didn't know that they were brother and sister, and the phenomenon that this movie created and started was amazing, and how people were just lined up for blocks and blocks to get into the movies, and they would see it 5, 6, 7 times. And these movies that stand the test of time, the original trilogy. And Star Wars: A New Hope for me is the best of the franchise, but I love all these movies. Like I said, a grade, they didn't receive a grade of 8 or lower than 8, I should say. But New Hope, just a great movie. We meet Obi-Wan Kenobi, and like I said, we meet Han Solo, as well as Chewbacca, and yeah, it's just an amazing, amazing movie. So there you have it. That is my ranking of all 10 Star Wars movies. So in the comment section below, give me your ranking of the Star Wars movies. I'm really interested to know what you think. Also, let me know if you're looking forward to the third movie in the third trilogy, and do you think they should continue with more Star Wars movies as far as another trilogy, or do you think they should have at least one more standalone movie? Well, like I said, I believe they were talking about doing a standalone movie that involves around the character of Lando. So we'll see. But other than that, I thank you guys for watching this ranking, and I will see you guys next time on my next video, which is going to be the top 10 worst movies on Rotten Tomatoes with a 0% rating. So look forward to that video as well. Other than that, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like this video, and don't forget to share it with your family and friends. Other than that, I'm Timmy Treacle. Thank you for watching, and check you later.